Let's get nuts. Oh, we're doing it live on this Wednesday. What's happening, everybody? This is not a not so live. This is a live. What's happening? Good to see everybody. Welcome to Film Junkee Live. Yeah, I said I was testing out the not so live. I'll probably do it every now and again, but I figured, let's go back to doing it live. We're doing it live. And please hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to become a member and support the channel, we're going to do a members-only stream after this. You guys can pick my brain a little bit, get a little intimate. I don't know. It happens. Patreon's also down there too with all the stuff on Patreon. You get all the videos ad-free and early and blah 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 blah. All right, not many people in the chat, so let's go through and see who's out there. What's going on, Clone Avenger? I really hope we get the SUper Fam up against Brainiac. Could you imagine Cillian Murphy as Brainiac? Mads Mikkelsen. I could see Mads Mikkelsen doing it more than Cillian Murphy. That's for sure. I don't see Cillian Murphy really going for it. I don't know. Maybe he would. Could be wrong. But Mads Mikkelsen, that'd be pretty crazy. A deeper cut would be Sam Witwer. Regardless, I'm excited for this. I'm trying to remember who Sam Witwer is. But also, as someone who has never been one way or the other as far as the red trunks go, this suit looks so much better with them, at least from the test photos. Yeah. What's going on, Axel? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. We got Eric, Mr. Hardboiled. So I take it your internet's gotten better if the whole night we'll do it live. I did literally nothing to the internet. Nothing to the internet, guys. It was not the internet. What's going on, Arkham 99? I'm gonna be seeing the re-release of TM. Oh, you're gonna see the 1990 re-release. So that's pretty cool. That's cool. What's going on, RJ? They just confirmed that they're showing K-pop Demon Hunters at my local theater next Saturday, so I might be going to see that. I have no desire or whatever. I don't even know really. When it comes to that, so I know it's like an anime or something, right? Is that an anime? I don't know. I know it's like a lot of people are talking about it for sure. What's going on, Eric Patterson? Good to see you too. Versus C. Do you think if Superman wasn't so well received, Gunn probably would have gotten someone else to handle him? He got a confidence boost from the positive reception. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Maybe. Who knows? But hey, it's happening. Obviously, there's the Peacemaker premiere is happening. Like the red carpet was just happening right now. So I'll pull up a couple of videos when it comes to that. But, the biggest thing, of course, was they decided to release like an hour-long behind-the-scenes kind of doc on Superman. So, I guess just because they announced the home video stuff. I don't know. There's a lot. We're not going to go through all that stuff. We're just going to pick a couple of things that people were talking about. Josh Brolin, huh? That would be interesting. But no, he's already Thanos. We don't need Josh Brolin. It's like, let's spread the love a little bit. I hate it when we cast the same people like over and over and over again. I always want, hey, let's spread the love a little bit. Spread the love. I always thought, but then again, I always thought Benedict Cumberbatch would have been a really good Brainiac. That voice and everything, but what's going on, Music Man? Good to see you. We also got Jacob. Fuck yeah, the TMNT release is going to be fun. Yeah, I forgot that they're doing that. What's going on, Rhea? Good to see you. And do what she says. Smash that like, thumbs up. Let's see who else we got. I think that's pretty much it when it comes to all the new people. Ice Cube fixed. Like I said, it was nothing. It was just something I was trying, just the not so live, just to relieve some pressure because of work and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, I'll probably still do the not so lives every now and again. Maybe like once or twice a month. Probably just once a month. I don't know, but like I said, it was. I think, like I said, it was mainly just updating the software for the Streamlabs. It had nothing to do with the internet or anything. And like I said, I was just trying things. And then, of course, last week took Mama Film Junkee out for dinner because it was her birthday. It was actually my dad's birthday on Sunday, too, which is funny. So, also, I didn't say happy birthday to him on here, but he, he doesn't watch these. I called him that day, of course. But anyways, guys, all right. Let's get to the tweets. Let's get going here. This is awesome. This is absolutely awesome right here that somebody made. And, you know, again, this is where the internet shines. This is where people just shine when it comes to how creative they are. And they take their artistic abilities and apply it to, they apply it to superheroes, they apply it to movies, they do everything. So we have Superman, of course, and we know, and we've seen the shot drawn out, and then, of course, we've seen the shot in the movie as well. So we have, of course, this shot right here that this person decided to, okay, so we have the drawing right here, and we did see a similar shot, of course, in the Superman movie, but then somebody made like a diorama with it, with an actual Superman figurine. It has the background and everything, and put like a bunch of cotton everywhere to make and lighting, and then to shoot that little shot. I mean, come on! That's pretty freaking awesome right there. You gotta love that. It's creative shit. Gotta love that. Turn off all the stuff and everything. Uh-oh. We got some melons in the super chat I see right there. I smell terrific. I got out of the shower like a half hour ago, so I don't know what you're talking about. Miss Revelations. I don't know what you're talking about. But good to see you. Good to see you. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Daniel Day-Lewis. Daniel Day-Lewis is coming back, guys. That's right. And we got our first look at Daniel Day-Lewis. There he is. In the new movie, he's going to be, I think I talked about this when it was announced, but there's Daniel Day-Lewis. And, of course, according to the information, the first look at Anemone. I don't know. Anemone. I don't know. Like I said, I'm terrible with pronouncing things. You guys know this. First role in 8 years, and it's directed by his son, so naturally that's why he came back, his son Ronan Day-Lewis. But I could officially say to all you fuckers out there that keep on saying this goddamn saying, to which now we have to hear it with every goddamn Marvel Studios movie, this actually applies right here. Daniel Day-Lewis is so back. There we go. That's the one time I approve that stupid fucking saying that everybody goddamn says for everything. Because literally, he is so back. That actually can apply to Daniel Day-Lewis. Unlike everything else you fuckers say out there when he's so back, so back. And like I said, the theory that I have of why people say it's so back, because they spent like 2 years saying, let's go, let's go. So they were going, and now they're back. I don't know. I can't keep up with you kids and your sayings. Anyways. There you go. Whoa. Oh, you want to see something funny? Spider-Man, brand new day, of course. The set photos have been glorious. The set videos have also been glorious as well. I mean, there was a little thing, too, because it looked like Sadie Sink was spotted on set, and a lot of people noticed that she actually had blonde hair. But a lot of that was debunked, and apparently, even according to some of my information, I thought, oh, she's playing Gwen Stacy. I don't think she is. I think they're trying to throw people off. And then, of course, that set photo, when I quote tweeted it on Twitter, it disappeared. They deleted the tweet. So I'm kind of wondering, maybe that wasn't even her. Who knows what's going to be happening with that. But Sadie Sink, probably not playing Gwen Stacy, even though saw blonde hair. But this was kind of cool right here because, hey, well, seems like Superman, people like Superman, and even like a crew member on the Superman set was wearing the new Superman logo as a hat right there. And then, of course, we see the glorious new Spider-Man suit with that awesome spider on the back. And, of course, there's Tom Holland's ass again, just in case you wanted to see it. But, yeah, there you go. So I guess a crew member was just like, hey, I'm going to rock a Superman. Maybe he worked on Superman as well. Probably did. And he just said, fuck it, I'm going to wear that. Absolutely glorious. Absolutely glorious. All right, what do we got here? Uh-oh. Oh yeah, by the way, it's Wine Wednesday too, guys. And I got some red wine this time. I've been doing the white wine because it's hot. White wine's better with cooler wetter. Makes me wetter. No, it's it's just better with the hotter weather. I can't even say it, but yeah, have the red wine, the Cabernet Sauvignon happening tonight. So, anyways. Uh-oh. This is, of course, not making people happy, but, it's probably going to happen, guys. It's probably going to happen. Just brace yourself because who knows. But at the same time, Disney is trying to get back on the graces of just like everybody now. I don't know. They kind of just were going one way and it didn't quite work and they lost money. Now they're kind of going, maybe we should swing back the other way, which is what happens when it comes to this. But Johnny Depp has had talks about returning as Jack Sparrow for Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Jerry Bruckheimer actually said, not Jerry Bruckheimer, was it him? Yes. If he likes the way the part is written, I think he would do it. So that means they are writing Jack Sparrow in the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And they've had conversations with Johnny Depp. So it's going to happen because he's going to get paid a lot. And something tells me he probably needs the money. I don't know. Maybe he might probably need some money. So that's going to happen. That's definitely going to happen. And it's going to be interesting to see the backlash of that because, man, when him and the Amber Heard thing, I remember like one tweet of mine, man, I pissed off the Amber Heard crazies out there. Oh, did I piss off the Amber Heard crazies out there? One time I like posted something. It was one of my clips I posted on Twitter, and I didn't realize until about an hour or so later that I was like, oh shit, there's a lot of people quote tweeting that are not happy with me. I didn't take a side during that whole thing. I think they were both toxic as fuck, but it was just funny how people were taking a side for either one of them. And I was like, I'm scratching my head going, are you kidding me? What can you do? Loki. So we have some alternate designs for Loki Season 2, and gets a little horny. That's pretty horny right there. So these were posted. Glorious purpose, it says right there. But yeah, we have some Loki designs. And whoa, this is like, whoa, what is this? What's going on right here? He's almost dressed like what's his name? Totally drawing a blank, but kind of almost like pirate-esque. What's he? Fuck, I can't remember the name. But yeah, he's kind of like, I don't know why they we're thinking about having him dressed like that. Obviously he has his daggers, so I guess that does make sense. But yeah, pretty interesting. Do I mean Season 3? It says Season 2 right here. Alternate Loki, this is from the art book. Alternate Loki concept art for Loki Season 2. Yeah. So, who do we got out there? David is my love. Okay. That's pretty funny. Somebody trolling as they do. So yeah, that's from the art book right there. I'm not sure who exactly. It's obviously, if you want to order the book, you can go to Amazon and get it. It's available now. But yeah, Season 2, it's only $45, $46 plus shipping. So you can get that. Concepts. Oh man, when I saw this, again, when I follow these accounts that just post something, you ever just been scrolling through your timeline and then all of a sudden you just see something, you're like, Jesus Christ, I had this. And it's so random that I had this. It's so ridiculous because, man, the Ghostbusters toys, when the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon was out in the 80s and 90s, the toys were magnificent. They just had toys for any random thing. Any idea you had for a character that could be some kind of ghost, that can change into some kind of ghost, oh, you had it. And when I saw this, I was like, holy shit, I had this figure. And it's ridiculous. This guy right here, Haunted Humans, Tombstone Tackle, Ghost. That's right. So it was a big, huge football player, and his back would open up, eyes would pop out. It's like Beetlejuice type shit that's happening. And his tongue was a football. Creepy shit. These are the type of toys that we had back in the day. But I saw that on my timeline and went, Jesus Christ, I had that. It was like literally the Twitter handle is called Memory Unlocked, and it just totally, wow. My God. So, did you get your shirt from Box Lunch? My shirt? No, I didn't get it from Box Lunch. I got it from Hot Topic. Oh, shit. Got it from Hot Topic or something, I think. And then speaking of Spider-Man Brand New Day, we already saw the back. We saw the backside of Tom Holland, but check out this Spider-Man pose. I'm wondering if this is Tom Holland. I assume it might be. It might be a stunt guy. Who knows? Whatever it is, it's absolutely glorious. And I'm telling you, Marvel Studios is hiring people to take pictures and then they post them just to keep the hype going. And check this out. Is that like a Spider-Man pose like no other? Ultimate. That is a big-time Spider-Man pose. Practical and looking pretty damn sweet. I love that. It's just awesome. Everything looks so good with that, except for the guy standing there. But I'm telling you, I'm just wondering, though. I mean, a lot of people are still worried, though. A lot of people are still worried about Spider-Man Brand New Day, even though they're doing a lot of practicality, a lot of practical stuff when it comes to what he's doing, what they're doing with Spider-Man and the swing and everything. They're still worried that, oh yeah, but they're gonna end up going post-production, CGI everything, you know. Hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully they have a nice little blend of CGI and practical. Weapons prequel. So Zach Crager did talk about another idea within the weapons world, and I just figured, well, why not just have a third movie? Bring in the barbarian world with the weapons world. Maybe he could do some kind of combination. Maybe he has an idea for that or something. He's going to have his own Crager universe, which I'm totally for because I liked both barbarian and weapons. But apparently his next idea when it comes to weapons, and if you guys saw it, you'll, obviously the character of Aunt Gladys, who is played by what's her name, which I forgot. It's the mom from Field of Dreams, who is married to Ed Harris, I believe. And so it would be exploring the origin story of Aunt Gladys. Very interesting. I don't know. Part of me goes, cool, I'll be there, of course. But then at the same time, I'm going, do we need an origin story or just kind of leave more of the mystery? I mean, we kind of get a little bit of what's going on, but do we need the origin story? I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Cool. It might. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. I don't need to post. Oh, yeah. So The Boys Season 2, Anthony Starr says goodbye to Homelander. It's going to be sad to see Homelander and The Boys go away after Season 5 premieres, and that's going to be the season, obviously the season finale is going to happen. It's going to be absolutely batshit crazy, of course. So Anthony Starr kind of took his time a little bit to write out this, to say goodbye to The Boys. He said, difficult for me to put into words what an incredible ride this has been. How much life and growth has occurred, how amazing the team is. It's truly been the highlight of my career. This complicated character allowed the space and range to discover and push boundaries in a way I never expected and will always be grateful for this experience. We created a monster and I will miss him. We cooked for the last time. Can't wait to show you what we made. Until that day, Homelander signing off. Anybody else get sad about that? Jeez. It is pretty crazy, though. And now it's kind of wondering, like, okay, so what is Anthony Starr going to get? Where is he going to go from, Homelander, Where's he going to go? Wasn't he in a really bad movie? Wasn't he like a bad guy in a really bad movie this year? I'm trying to remember what movie that was. Wasn't he in a really bad movie? Poor guy. I'm not saying that his career's not going to go anywhere. I'm just saying, what's next for Anthony Starr? That's what I'm kind of wondering. A lot of people actually wanted him for Booster Gold. I think it could probably be a good Booster Gold to be gone. Oh, he was, that's right. You're right. There you go, Versus Seed. It was that Viola Davis movie. It's that Viola Davis movie. No, you're a bad movie. You're a bad movie. Say that too. Anyways, Peacemaker Season 2. Now, somebody made this right here, and a lot of us can probably agree that this is the step that DC Studios should take when it comes to their intros. Yeah, it's really cool to see Superman break through the chains, and then, of course, it flips around and you see the DC Studios logo. But a lot of us were kind of going, well, why don't they just have the first appearance of whatever character this movie or series is? Why don't you just have that be that, and then it flips over? But according to James Gunn, it's like, we're just going to kind of do, just Superman. But somebody actually took it upon themselves to make a Peacemaker one. Look at that. So you got Peacemaker. That's what he looked like in his first appearance. And then, bam. This is from Digimag. I mean, come on, Digimang. I mean, that's a badass. That's all you have to do. Just pay. Just pay for that. That's all you gotta do. Just pay them for that. And then have it right there. Why not just have that? That looks like it was like full on legit. Just pay them and put that in front of the fucking series. And then do that for all the others. Do that for Lanterns. Do that for Supergirl. Do it. I think that would be pretty sweet. Show the first appearance right there. And then you flip it over. I think they should do that, but who knows what's going to happen. I don't know. All right, so some people got worried when it came to Daredevil and Charlie Cox here at, I forgot exactly where he is, somewhere at some con. You can see right here, but this is the video that was kind of going around where people were like, oh my God, Daredevil Born Again Season 2, that's going to be it. There's going to be no more after that, because this is what Charlie Cox said right here.
I know there have been some leaked set photos. So the one that we've just finished with in Season 2 of Born Again, I think is my favorite for a couple of reasons. One, because it is badass. Yes. But also because every suit that we've had so far, in some way, is represented in the comics. We've had a couple of red ones, I think 3 red ones. We've had the She-Hulk golden, yellow and red. But there's a particular, and there's something I can't, without giving away too much, but there's something that we do in this final season. That doesn't exist in the comics. So it is unique to our show. And so I'm pretty excited about that.
So final season, people were like, oh shit, they're ending it already? What the hell, man? Vincent D'Onofrio to the rescue, because he quote tweeted this, because he saw it too. He says, I believe Charlie meant the last season we actually shot, meaning the 2nd season. Yet he used the term final season, so it's a bit confusing, but Charlie and I discussed, and we both agree there's a very good chance for a 3rd season. Thank you. There we go. So thank you, Kingpin. We're good. Kingpin to the rescue, I guess. Jeez. So don't worry, guys. I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna have more Daredevil for sure. So that's good. That's good. Phew, right? And thank you, Clone Avenger, for gifting a membership. Shadius. Welcome to the membership. And welcome to the members. All right. And what else we got? This is pretty funny too. Somebody spotted a certain device that you use to, inhale something that gets you a little like, a little kooky, little, high up into the clouds. And this is pretty funny right here. I saw this image and it's like, yeah, I would buy this because why not? Steppenwolf on a bong, Bong and Wolf. What? I don't know if Warner Brothers signed off on that one. I don't know if they signed off on that one, but I mean, hey, he did get his head sliced off by Wonder Woman. Of course, Darkseid did step on it, but that's where his head ended up, on a bong. I love it. What's going on, Jake? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, right. And then, yes, guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but it is Happy Lefthanders Day for all the left-handers out there. I didn't know that Left-Hander Day was an actual day, but yes, happy to all my Southpaws out there. My brother is kind of left-handed. He's a little, what do they call that, ambidextrous or whatever? But he's mainly left-handed, so happy Left-Hander Day. So guys, I'm just saying, switch it up today. Switch it up today. You know what I'm saying? Switch it up. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. And that's it. That's it, guys. We'll end on Left-Handers Day. You're a left-handed person? There you go. Like I said, if you guys want to do the stranger later, just do that. And you're, right-handed. Okay. All right, let's dive right into it, folks. Let's dive. Like I said, there's not much, but we'll go through some of the stuff before we start diving into like the main things here. There really wasn't too much when it comes to a lot of things. Yeah, I think the main thing that everybody was just kind of talking about. Oh man, that was really cool. Oops, I was not going on the right thing here. What's going on, Mr. Darren? Good to see you, Game City. Okay, so obviously the Peacemaker premiere is happening right now, which is cool. Okay, so what are we doing here? I'm just, like I said, there's just a few things. Okay, let's talk about the home video release, I guess. Home video release when it comes to Superman. This Friday, you can actually buy digitally or rent, I guess. I don't know if you can rent or buy whatever the hell it is. Again, and when it comes to PVOD, sometimes you rent it, sometimes you have to buy it. I don't know. But yes, you could basically have Superman this Friday. This weekend, you can watch Superman at home. Seems a little early. Yes, it does. 45-day window. Yeah, I thought it was going to be more of a 90-day window. It seemed like, you know, the rumor was that it was actually going to be August 26th, but now it's this Friday. So that's when you're going to be able to have that digital. And you can get a lot of extra little goodies too. And here are some of the extra goodies that you're going to get when it comes to the Superman bonus. And of course, when you get the... obviously, when you can eventually get the 4K, UHD and Blu-ray, here's the special features. Crypto Saves the Day, School Bus Scuffle, which is actually out right now. That is one of the Crypto shorts, and it's not the South Park one, guys. But yeah, you can actually watch that online. There is a 5.5-minute short, Crypto Saves the Day, School Bus Scuffle, which, it's cute, it's fun, David Cornsweet, I guess he supplies his voice for Superman again. And then, of course, The Adventures of Making Superman, which was also released on YouTube. So the first two things you can already watch, which is kind of funny. Icons Forever, Superman's Enduring Legacy featurette. Lex Luthor, The Mind of a Master Villain featurette. Cryptoons, The Music of Superman. Pause to Pixels, Crypto is Born featurette. Breaking News, The Daily Planet Returns featurette. The Ultimate Villain featurette. The Justice Gang featurette. A New Era, DC Takes Off featurette. And then, of course, you also get the director's commentary with James Gunn. It would be kind of cool if James Gunn and the cast, the initial cast, with Nicholas Hoult, Cornsweet, and Brosnahan, it would be kind of cool, even if it had, some of the Justice Gang, I guess, too. Eddie and what's his nuts and what's her wings would also be a part of it. That would have been cool if they actually did a whole thing like that. But you get a gag reel, you get deleted scenes. How many deleted scenes are there gonna be there, huh? 20 minutes worth? Is there? Yeah, we're not gonna get a gun cut, but we're gonna see the deleted scenes. And then, of course, somebody on the internet is probably gonna pop them in wherever they're supposed to go. And I'm just kind of wondering how many deleted scenes are we getting, and how much more would that have added? And then it's like, how much would it add to the story overall? So, I guess we'll see. But yeah, so that's what you're gonna get. So I don't know who out there is gonna be getting the digital download this Friday. You guys gonna make it a Superman weekend for you? Huh? Superman weekend? Okay. Now let's talk about this Superman doc behind the scenes, because this kind of came out of nowhere. And again, you could watch it online, even though it can be provided for you if you buy the digital download or get the Blu-ray or 4K. But yeah, they just released like this hour-long. I haven't watched the entire thing. I've just been too busy this week with work and, of course, this. So I haven't watched the entire thing. I know, I'm such a terrible fan, right? But we can go over some of this stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things that people were pointing out. I mean, first off, they were just pointing out some of the chemistry between Rachel Brosnahan and David Cornsweet. I mean, I tell you, there's a couple of things. Well, we'll get to it right here, but obviously, when you see some of the stuff. Okay, so the first thing, did you guys know that David Cornsweet was voicing the Hammer of Baravia? Did you guys know that? Like, that was the voice that you hear, when they're yelling at the people of Metropolis. That is David Cornsweet. That's his voice. That's what was pretty crazy. And he recorded the voice on set in the Superman costume.
The Hammer of Baravia will never forget.
This is supposed to be sort of a bad accent, right?
Yeah. My actions today can only be blamed on the Cretanians' choice.
You can tell he was having fun with that. See, it's kind of that kind of fun that they were having on the set. But I mean, it's just choice. I mean, it kind of makes sense now that you think about it, because Cornsweet has that kind of theater style voice to him. But I didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, I wonder whose voice that is. It's David Cornsweet. David Cornsweet doing that voice. That's pretty sweet. I love that. Hey, you want to hear Jimmy Guns talk about Batman? Yeah, This is either James Gunn talking about Batman, or this is me on a first date, and I just can't stop talking about Batman.
Even with Batman, if I was doing Batman, I could get into it. Like, Batman's a maniac, so yeah, he puts on a scary bat costume and goes out and tries to scare people.
There you go. Just real quick. You know, of course, people got upset about this because they hate Jimmy Gunn so much that they just like, oh, he doesn't understand Batman. He doesn't understand Batman. I'm like, sounds like he does a little bit because he is crazy. I don't know how many times I've heard other directors talk about, oh yeah, he's crazy. I mean, if you just go back to the Tim Burton behind the scenes stuff, Michael Keaton, they talk about it like, yeah, he is crazy because he puts on a bat suit and he's trying to scare people. I mean, that is crazy. That's why we love Batman. You know, because he has to do that. He has to put on that costume and scare people because he has no superpowers. He's got to have some kind of edge, and that's his edge. But I just love that he said that. Again, I haven't watched the entire like doc thing, and I'm like wondering like fully what the context is right there. And there's also a thing too where David Corenswet says he 100% wants to be in the Batman movie somewhere. He wants to show up somewhere. I'm sure that's going to happen. I would not be surprised if Batman Brave and the Bold is going to have a Superman cameo, or maybe there'll be an entire scene where he could be like a full-on, I don't know, could be something pretty cool. So, but yeah, I love it when people are like, he doesn't understand. It's like, yes, I get it. James Gunn doesn't understand anything, right? I'm starting to think that you guys don't understand those characters. I'm starting to think that. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think James Gunn understands these characters more than any other director that's handled them before. Yes, even Zack Snyder. And I think even Zack Snyder would agree with that. That's all I'm going to say about that. He would. Anyways, I'm just saying. Yeah, I just hate him now. We'll get to one thing where they were really hating. So is Brainiac going to show up in the next Superman movie? Super Family, Super Cousins, whatever it's going to be, because part of that documentary, so, you know, people saw a little thing, people took a little screenshot, saw a little something that was on a storyboard that might, you know, show up in a future film, because it seems like it would, especially when we're hearing things when it comes to like the next chapter in this Super Family. Well, now it's called a saga, I guess. Look at that. So I don't know if Jimmy Gunn's drew that. I'm assuming that he did. He doesn't do it as good as Zack. I'm just kidding. That's what some people are probably saying. But we got the Super Family, we got Crypto, we got Superman, and we got Supergirl. It looks like they're about to lift off. And then right here, man, I mean, they intentionally put that in there to get people riled up. But obviously, that head right there, that's not Lex Luthor. That's not Lex Luthor's bald head. That is 100% Brainiac right there. Yes, please, for the love of shit, can we finally get a cinematic Brainiac? How many times have we heard that there's going to be a Brainiac, They said they were going to try to do Brainiac even back in the Reeve days. They were even contemplating a Brainiac. Superman Returns, they thought about a Brainiac, especially if it was going to have a sequel. Obviously, when it came to Man of Steel, Zack talked about having a Brainiac, especially when it came to like a sequel. It's always a sequel. Always a sequel. So let it happen. Finally, can we actually have it happen where we get a Brainiac? And I think if you're gonna try to outdo this Superman, you're gonna have to have a bigger threat, naturally, than just Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor, we got that out of the way. We got this Superman out of the way where it's like we're establishing the universe. We established Lex and all the familiar faces and everything. We got all that done. Lex is now headed off to Belle Reve, and now we got a bigger threat where you're going to have obviously these three, and then there's going to be some others that will most likely join as well to fight the threat that is Brainiac. Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage. Well, what if Nicolas Cage was Brainiac? Can you imagine that? That would be insane. That would be absolutely insane if that happened. All right, let me see something here. Okay. So one thing that everybody was talking about, and I'm not going to show all of it. I'm not going to show all of it because, you show too much and then all of a sudden you're going to get a copyright. What the hell? Where's it at? I know people were posting it. And it was this clip right here from the doc. The infamous monologue scene at the end of Superman. Now, I personally think it's a good scene. I think I don't know, it didn't hit as hard as maybe it did for some people, but I get what they were going for. To me, it didn't hit as hard when it came to the monologue scene, talking about how human, when Superman's yelling at Lex and saying how human it is. Then, of course, it gets broken up by Lex about to lose his mind, and then Krypto attacks him because Jimmy Guns can't help himself by breaking the tension. But for the most part, it's still a good scene. So they're in that dock. They talk about that. And it's been talked about before when it comes to Jimmy Guns and David Cornsweet, how they kind of slightly bumped heads on set. Not really, but they had a moment on set. So that was actually part of the dock. And we'll kind of go through it a little bit here.
He starts saying, I don't know if I feel this.
The whole crew's sitting around waiting like, come on, let's shoot, let's get this done. So finally I walked off set.
Came off set.
I just
talk about
demonstrating it.
so
trying
you
to
actually
prove it
see
still,
them.
as opposed to I really know it.
So I think Cornsweet was having difficulty with the scene and some of the dialogue. So then he had to approach the director to kind of and then they had to work it out. This, obviously there's people that were turning this into a whole different thing, but this is kind of probably what happens a lot, especially on set. And there's no there was tension for sure, but it was two creative people trying to get the best performance out for the movie. So when you actually see it, when you see this,
okay, because let me try that.
but I love that they added this to the doc, and they just seemed like, no, we're not going to post this.
When is
because what he didn't tell you was it was wrong to feel that way.
So
there are feelings and there are thoughts. Your feelings about feeling bad are okay. It's not wrong for you to feel that way. You should it's not right or wrong anything. None of it is right or wrong. All of it is being vulnerable and being a human being.
So yeah, so we got Jimmy Guns just kind of explaining it to Cornsweet, and then of course when they shoot the scene, now
I get scared.
it's different.
I wake up every morning and just say that I don't belong. It hurts my feelings.
That line right there. I'm actually glad that that's not in the final movie, because you don't hear him say it hurts my feelings in the actual movie. So I think they did tweak things a little bit. Again, trying to find that common ground, trying to figure it out. Sometimes whatever's on the page, Quentin Tarantino, I remember said this, I remember hearing him saying this in an interview. It's the final draft is not the script, the final script. The final draft is what you fucking see on the big screen. It's never what's on the script. Shit changes all the time, and you have to make it work, because, if the actor is not feeling it, then, of course, you have to figure out a way to do that. And I thought, watching that little clip right there, I was like, wow, that was pretty good, where, it wasn't obviously, if you hate James Gunn, the people who hate James Gunn are like, oh, he came out as a dick, poor David, poor this, poor that. I was like, really? So you think there was some ill will? Did you watch the rest of the clip?
all the credit goes to James for saying that
What?
sentence and for sticking with me in the conversation long enough to get to that sentence.
Oh, poor David.
Because I didn't make it easy for him.
There's no anger in any of this at all. There's no ego. There's a reason why he's asking these questions, because it makes it better. And David wrote me that night. He texted me. He said that was my favorite day ever on set with a director. And I said, yeah, I think that was my favorite day too.
So there you go. But you could tell, like, some of it was like, oh yeah, some of it changed because they had a, you know, they sometimes when you see it being performed and you watch it back, you go, yeah, maybe that doesn't work. And I think that line of like, it hurts my feelings, they're like, yeah, maybe that's a little too much, a little too vulnerable for Superman. You know, it's already vulnerable. It's already a vulnerable scene, but yeah. It's online. Go to the Warner Brothers. Go to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers. Just go to the Warner Brothers channel. It's okay. Oh, you know what? You know what? They fucking have it unlisted. That's why. They have it unlisted.
I was watching a dating show.
Hold on. Yeah, it's still unlisted. That's why you can't find it. That's why you can't find it. That is so weird that that's the case. Here. Right here. I'll post it right there. There you go. So if you wanted to see, yeah, they for some reason they had it unlisted. I don't know why. So I don't know. That's so weird that they did that. So freaking weird. Anyways, okay. Now, okay, so then also we have this right here. So if you want to hear, I guess everything in the DCU whether it's the main timeline or the Elseworlds, it's going to be a saga. It's going to have saga in the name because obviously we have the Batman, the crime saga that Matt Reeves is doing. But now also we're going to have the Superman saga or Super Family, Super whatever the hell. Super Saga? Okay.
I've already finished the treatment for the next story in what I'll call the Superman Saga. The treatment's done, which means a very, very worked out treatment, and I'm working on that, and hopefully going into production on that. Not too far away from today.
The Superman Saga. There you go. So he's already got a treatment, which a treatment is not just an outline. A treatment is a detailed story. He has the story start to finish. Now you just got to fill it in with the dialogue and, the talking about the action and stuff like that. But that's all. And then he says hopefully it goes in production soon. It's going to be next year, probably early next year. I think Superman and the Batman Part 2 are going to be filming around the same time, which is going to be pretty cool. So we got that. So we said that at the... So we'll have... So as we're going to be they need to hype Lanterns. Obviously, Peacemaker is being hyped right now, but then Lanterns next, and then Supergirl. And then right after that, next year, you better believe that the next Superman movie is going to be... Well, we're going to fully know what it is. And then we're going to, and then we're going to get everything. So that's good. All right. Now we got James Gunn talking about Margot Robbie. And, we talked about this on Monday where Margot Robbie returning as Harley Quinn. It was said it was very unlikely. But now we got Entertainment Weekly who interviewed Jimmy Guns. And they asked him about Margot Robbie. So here it is right here. James Gunn addresses Margot Robbie's place in new DC universe. Could Margot Robbie return as Harley Quinn in James Gunn's new DC universe, or have his bird's wings been clipped? The new co-head, blah, 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 talk about this. So, and then talking about everything else. And this is it right here, guys. That will be revealed down the line, Gunn tells Entertainment Weekly. That's it. And then, of course, they also asked about Bloodsport, which, of course, is played by Idris Elba in the Suicide Squad. He said, I definitely am always looking for a place to put Bloodsport and figuring that out, Gunn says of Idris Elba's ruthless mercenary in the sequel. So we'll see what happens. So not much there. I don't know what's interesting, but that will be revealed. That almost sounds like she is going to come back. I thought, nah, she's not going to come back. She had her time. She had 3 movies. She's now a mom. She's doing big things, but maybe she's not done with Harley Quinn. I think she had her time, but I'm not going to complain if she comes back. It's Margot fucking Robbie. Not going to complain. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay. And then, like I said, watch the doc. There was a link. I posted it right there. Let's see. There's one thing I did want to say. I wanted to, show it. I was like, no, I'm not going to see that. Wait. No. Where's it at? Okay. Hold on. And Lois. See if I can find it, because I saw people posting about it like crazy. Well, there's a lot of things. Jesus Christ, when you see them, the way that they were behind the scenes, the chemistry between those two were crazy. Nah, I can't find it. Well, wait a minute. Let's see, because there was one thing, and I was like, you know what? I'm trying to remember it, because I didn't retweet it or anything or save it, because I was like, I don't really care. Of course, like I said, there's so many things behind. Okay, yeah. When they're in the kitchen and everything, there's even a moment where Lois reaches down to the pants, and it was like, whoa, is that part of the deleted scenes? I don't know, probably not, but hey, let's see. I can't find it. Yeah, maybe it got deleted. I don't know. It probably did. Like I said, just watch the whole doc. Because I'm looking at anytime I was trying to find, it's not really seeing any. I could have swore there's all kinds of other things, and that one. But it was just it was a little video where I'm going, Jesus Christ, Corn Sweat and Brosnahan's significant others probably wouldn't want to watch that. I mean, it was just because she kisses him and kisses him and kisses him and like laughs about it, like all flirty like. And I was just kind of going, geez. I mean, the chemistry was good, but man, sometimes, I mean, if you're like, you know, the significant other watching this, you're kind of going, Jesus, we're still a thing, right? I wish I could find that video. I think it got deleted because a lot of this stuff was like not supposed to be like fully out there. I don't know. I'm probably going to get this freaking thing copyright, whatever the hell. But yeah, it did get deleted. Yep. So when some people were posting certain things, because I think some of the clips you're able to post because the official Superman account posted it, but some of them they're like, nope, you can't post that. Anyways, that doesn't matter. Let's move on to the next topic, huh? Yeah, that was a wild kiss attack. I know. I was jealous of Corn Sweat, but then I'm just kind of going like, he's married, and she's married. I don't know if she's married or has a boyfriend. I'm just saying, you know, a girl kisses you playfully like that. I don't know. Oh, we got Michael Cooney right here. Are you guys still right? Oh, Jesus Christ. No, we're just talking about movies. Get a life. Go touch grass, you fucking idiot. But thank you for the engagement. Thank you for the engagement and the view. So, you know, at least you have that. You know, every little bit helps. All right, let's talk about Paramount. Paramount just had an article that was released, and of course, you know, we'll briefly go through this, but of course, Paramount is like going to be like, all right, here's what's coming out in the future and all this kind of stuff. Here's the deadline article right here. Paramount's movie priorities under new Skydance owners. That's right. So we have new owners, and obviously, what they want to do, of course, is just like everything and anything when it comes to franchise things. So the new entertainment conglomerate, which prevented a collapse, and we got to remember that, further collapse of motion picture studios and all that kind of stuff. Paramount has been cash hampered in recent years, which has caused them to greenlight fewer movies that they might have liked to. It appears to us that blah, 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 all this stuff. And of course, this was just part of that little meeting thing. So it might seem like a high jump for the new administration to succeed, particularly at the studio which lost Marvel to Disney in 2009. Remember, Paramount almost had Marvel. It's only recently that Paramount saw some of the best grosses, of course, talking about Top Gun Maverick and other various things. So right here it says, speaking of co-financing, what happens now that the studio's biggest co-financer is now the owner? Sources tell us that the plan for the new Paramount on future big tentpoles a la Star Trek and Top Gun to keep the upside completely. And of course, that's the priorities, of course, those ones right there. Obviously, they were like saying that Star Trek. So when it comes to, they said, while high side marked blah, blah, blah. I mean, obviously, they were talking about, yes, we got, that said, Insiders films like The Rescue with Brandon Sklenar in talks to Starr. I'm telling you, Sklenar is going to be like the new dude. He's going to be the new guy. He's coming in for fucking Glenn Powell. Slightly, you know, I think he's going to be, they're going to try to turn that guy into a leading man. And then, of course, he might end up being Batman. Another high priority is Skydance own Paramount is Star Trek, which, you know, talked about that. That's going to be another thing. And apparently, like, and then, of course, when it comes to Top Gun, they said Top Gun 3, of course, is a high priority. And then, of course, Transformers, we already heard that there's going to be many Transformers that are going to be coming out, different versions. Franchise, you know, just talking about that and having Michael Bay returning, and they're hoping that that's actually going to be the case. A Quiet Place 3 is also that's also going to be on the slate, and John Krasinski is actually going to be back writing and directing that movie. So cool. And then, of course, you have like a sequel. We got the animated sequel to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. But then at the same time, spell check there, deadline. Even though, yeah, sometimes you could just, mess up even your big whatever. But they also talked about how the Ronin the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Ronin Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles story is still in development, which is R-rated, very dark story when it comes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, hey, get Zack Snyder to direct it. I'm just saying he'd be perfect for it. And I know he's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. Could you imagine if they got Zack to direct that movie? Holy shit. I would not put it past. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't like, maybe Zack Snyder can make that movie. But Zack's pretty busy, but that would be pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, they said Top Gun 3 is also a high priority. But I'm like, yeah, but you better have a good script because Tom Cruise ain't gonna do it without something pretty solid. It took 30 years, almost 40 years, just to fucking get the Top Gun Maverick, and then Star Trek, they're going to have 2 movies. They want to bring the original cast back, the normal cast, the classic cast back with, like, you know, all the guys that we saw in the first 3 movies. And then they want to have one that introduces new characters. So that's what they basically have when it comes to Paramount and their franchise movies. Like, I like the Star Trek movies. I do. But I'm like, dude, make that Tarantino movie. Make that Tarantino one. But they ain't going to make the Tarantino one. Why would they do that? They're not going to make the Tarantino one. Even though that would be absolutely fucking fantastic. And then, yeah, Top Gun. You know, you better have a good script. Because, you know, Tom Cruise ain't going to do it just for some slop out there. He ain't going to do that. Anyways, all right. Who's going to the movies this weekend, huh? What are you going to see, huh? What are we looking at here? So we got there's actually like 3 movies that are coming out this weekend, but the one that people are really talking about lately is Nobody 2, which I'm seeing tomorrow with everybody. I'm seeing it with my brother, my dad, my nephew, and we're actually going to be, you know, we're going to treat Pop's Film Junkee for birthday dinner since since his birthday was on Sunday. We didn't see him on Sunday, so we're going to do that. So I'm going to see Nobody 2 because the first Nobody was my favorite movie of, what was that, 2022 or 2023? Jesus Christ, this stupid thing. There we go. All right, let's check out some of these reviews right here. So we're going to start off with a bad one from South China Morning Post. Interesting. Nobody 2, unfortunately, a bit of a non-event, even as it tries to persuade you that it has depth. Odenkirk's talents feel wasted in this largely toothless follow-up. In the end, it is Odenkirk who makes this Nobody somebody to watch. Nobody 2 has violence and characters that are more cartoonish than 2021's Nobody. So it was 2021. Holy crap, it was 4 years ago. I thought it was like 2022 or 23. Goddamn COVID. An action film about a father who's a secret assassin. There are no real surprises in this lively sequel. Nobody 2's comedy elements make everything more watchable. Nobody 2 begins to look like an identical twin in a Hawaiian shirt, yet the cast and material proves so likable that the sameness between the 2 features hardly matters. I love that. I love that the characters are so good and so great that even if it feels like it's the same, you love it. Odenkirk, as an aging action hero, is still a violent delight, but the storytelling in the sequel leaves much to be desired. Then we got a bad one right here. Behind the violence and gore, Nobody 2 only offers the skeleton of a narrative. Funnier, sunnier, and even more violent than its predecessor, Nobody 2 ups the ante in the cinematic action department as well. So it's looking pretty good. But yeah, there's the other 2 movies that have also gotten ratings. Well, first off, 82% for Nobody 2, so 57 reviews. But we got Americana. We got Americana, which is kind of like a more indie type movie. It's got Sydney Sweeney in it, starring. I mean, I'm sure some people will be flocking to that just simply to see her. That's at a 79%, especially after the whole controversy about jeans. And then we have Spike Lee's movie with Denzel Washington called Highest to Lowest, which is an Apple TV movie, I believe. Yeah, Apple TV movie. So that's getting a 94 rating on the Devil Fruit site with 61 reviews. So, yeah, of course. You got Spike Lee, you got Denzel, you got Jeffrey Wright that's also in it. I mean, come on. That's going to be, yeah, so a lot of people are like going to be raving about that. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah. All right, so we got that. And then finally, guys, who watched Alien Earth? I know there's 2 episodes you can watch. I'll watch the second one maybe after I'm done with all the streaming tonight, or maybe I'll just watch it tomorrow or this weekend. I did watch the first episode, though. And you guys know I'm when it comes to the Alien franchise, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of the franchise. When I heard about this, I went, okay, well, maybe this is going to be something. And then, of course, all the posters have been magnificent. That's for damn sure. And then, of course, when the trailer came out, I went, oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay, so now they have hybrid human / synthetics where if you have a dying child, you can just upload the brain into a synthetic and that person lives. And I thought that's an interesting little concept that they're adding to it. So the first episode, oh man, the set pieces takes you right back to that first Alien. I mean, they, of course, and the score, same thing. Noah Hawley, is that what his name is? That is directing this and basically doing all this. A lot of tension, a lot of interesting things. Like I said, when it comes to this whole concept of uploading a human brain into a synthetic, so it's kind of like a hybrid. Then they also have cyborgs. So you also have human beings who have cybernetic parts. And then you have full-on synthetics that were just created from the ground up. So you have hybrids, synthetics, and cyborgs in this. So interesting concepts. And yes, I mean, obviously the first movie is about this ship that has a bunch of some creepy fucking weird-looking alien creatures. Not just face huggers, but weird, wow. Some interesting concepts. And then, of course, things go bad. Xenomorph gets released on, of course, that ship, which is kind of cool to see a Xenomorph fucking things up in a ship. It does bring that nostalgia element back. And then, of course, that ship ends up crashing onto Earth. And, not only does the main character, she was like dying of cancer, and then she gets uploaded into a new body. There's other kids, too, that get uploaded into, sick kids that get uploaded into a new body. And it's kind of an interesting concept because they're still kids in an adult body, so they have to there's a whole scientific concept of why that is, and I want to explain it right here. But yes, essentially these hybrids, they're children that get uploaded into an adult body, so then they have to get used to it. So kind of an interesting little subplot of that while this shit's happening. And like I said, it's still cool. It's bloody. It's gory. It feels like an alien type of everything. And I'm just like, thank you. This is good. This is good stuff. So I'm in. I'm definitely in when it comes to Alien Earth. And if you're a fan of the franchise, you should do this. You should watch it. Just watch it. Just watch it. Okay, let's go ahead and go. Let's go ahead and see what you guys are seeing over here on the Twitter. That's weird. Okay. What are we seeing over here on the Twitter right here? Okay, so we have Eric. Hey, Dave, here's my thoughts about Margot Robbie and Idris Elba. Lest we forget, John Cena's Peacemaker was introduced in the Suicide Squad, starring alongside him. So I'd say that the Peacemaker show is the best place for them to show up again while avoiding audience confusion. Yeah, probably would. That probably would be the best, but it's like, is that going to happen? I don't know. We'll see. I'm wondering if Margot Robbie still wants to play her. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, if Gunn is actually doing a Superman and Supergirl movie and Brainiac's a villain, do you think we will get some build-up? Oh, yeah. I think there's definitely going to be some Brainiac tease that is going to happen in Supergirl. Because that movie is going to be taking place out in the cosmos, so I just would not be surprised. And maybe, yeah, there's got to be something with that. Devon Wooter. Devin. Not Devon. Devin. Hello, Dave. Are you surprised that Superman coming out on digital on Friday? Do you think that's smart? No, it should stay out a little bit more, but hey, who cares? I do. And do you think the success of Superman people will watch every DC studio movie? I don't know if they'll watch everything. Like I said, I don't think families are going to watch Peacemaker. That's for damn sure. But, people will still watch Peacemaker because they love John Cena. Joshua G, can we all admit this is getting old with all the arguments on the internet about box office? I'm not ready for them to compare Superman's box office to when Avatar 3 comes out and makes almost $3 billion. I doubt that's going to be the case, but why can't people just enjoy things anymore? Because it got all tribal. Sadly, everything got all tribal, and it's weird. Like I said, I don't know. One thing I find funny about the whole box office thing, that especially when the domestic numbers were first off, the people who are pushing back against the box office, the absolute Gunn haters who are diehard Snyder guys, is if this was Snyder's Man of Steel 2 with Henry Cavill and he was doing the exact same numbers, exact same things, all the same things, they would be celebrating it, because we're all hypocrites. They're hypocrites, big time hypocrites. It's all tribalistic, 100%. They would be celebrating. They would not, they're so actively every day with every tweet that they put out there, which is so weird. They're obsessed because Superman's not a flop, so they are going over the top to try to prove that it's a flop. Yes, I get it. When you do the actual, some of the formulas and stuff like that, it doesn't quite, maybe Superman didn't make the money that they, of course, wanted. They were hoping probably for an 800, 900. I mean, obviously they want the billion, but the billion's not going to happen. Not even Jurassic World made $1 billion, and the previous ones made $1 billion. Things are just different now. I mean, that's just the case. And of course, everybody's just going to make it seem like it's the same thing. Like, oh, we're in the same spot as we were in 2013. No, we're not. Obviously not. Not at all. So there's all that kind of stuff. But, when it comes to like the BVS thing, which is kind of funny because, I saw people just like, oh yeah, BVS, still the reigning champ. I'm like, I hate to say this because I love that movie so much. But when Batman vs. Superman came out, and the reason why it had a significant drop and didn't make $1 billion, because a lot of people didn't like it. Maybe half or a little bit less than half. I don't know. A lot of people did not like it. Batman vs. Superman should have made $1 billion. During the time of 2016, when you have Batman and Superman in it, it should have made $1 billion. It didn't because it had bad word of mouth. If it had good word of mouth, it would have made $1 billion. Now, that's not necessarily the fault of Zack or anything. It could have been, maybe if the ultimate cut was released, that 3-hour cut was released, maybe it could have been like, oh yeah, and people would have been like, oh, this is a good movie. This is good, because I've seen it so many times that when people visit the ultimate cut, they're like, wow, this is a good movie actually. What the fuck? This is a good movie. I still remember John Schnepp, may he rest in peace. He didn't like the theatrical cut. He absolutely had a complete 180 turnaround when it came to the ultimate cut. That half an hour really added to it. But I'm just saying, it's just kind of funny when you're like, when everybody's like doing like, not going to do that. I'm like, do you guys realize that a lot of people did not like when they walked? I mean, I had conversations with people in real life, not just online, but in real life, who were like, what the fuck was that? I had to defend it in real life too, with coworkers and some friends. They're like, Jesus Christ. But then, of course, like I said, you get that ultimate cut, and you have people watch that and they go, oh, shit. So I blame Warner Brothers, obviously, when it comes to that. But yeah, I'm not going to be sitting here and fucking, not say that, a movie with Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman probably should have made $1 billion. But it just didn't have, it had a bad word of mouth after it all came out. But hey, what can he do? What can he do, guys? All right. That's the show today, and we're going to be, of course, doing a members-only stream after this, so if you guys want to join that, we'll be talking for about 10-15 minutes. We're going to be doing DC Fanimated a little bit earlier tonight because Scott's schedule changed again, so we'll probably be doing that at 7:45 or 7:40. We'll see what happens, but hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys, like I said, look forward to my Nobody 2 first reaction, my reaction video to Nobody 2, and then, of course, the Vodka stream will be this Friday, and that should be a lot of fun. So, members, look forward to the link on your stream, and like I said, if you want to join and support the channel, become a member. I got the Patreon there, too. I do post-show, and I post all my videos ad-free before I post them on YouTube on there and everything. So, all right, guys. I'll see you guys Friday, or I'll see you guys in a little bit. Talk to you later. Oh, shit.